come out of the other side. Watch the way that he manipulates the defense on the back end, the underneath coverage wide open with all the space to the side. Easy throw for Jared Goff. And then next we're going to see one of the biggest plays of the first half. This is actually the 3 points you can say they win the game by. You're going to get the tackle out. You're going to get number 2 wide receiver out the center. And they're all going to get to Robert Woods as he comes back for the screen. Now, Robert Woods gets out of this thing because the blocks are sealed off. He has to make a decision. Does he get out of bounds? Does he get down? Or does he try to score? Because this is late in the half. He breaks it. He actually gets tackled. They get up. They spike the ball. They get 3. Now, here's a play that shows you how great Cooper Kupp is. They're going to give him a clear route with an option route on Carlton Davis, who's their best defender. Watching hit him with the icky wicky sticky, gets outside, catches the ball. Devontae Adams is talking about that dude being underrated because he gets open, he's physical, and he has great hands. This was a virtuoso performance by Sean McVay, but also these wide receivers and even Jared Goff with the 2 interceptions. They had to show up big because the run game was stopped, and boy, did they.
That won't be a fun moment in film session when you get got like that, I can't imagine. Now, Ryan, on the other side of this, Brady plus pressure equals what?
Pipes busted. Right? They do, they do 1 or 2 things. They make diamonds or they bust pipes. And it's been pipes busted for Tom Brady, which we aren't used to. We're used to Brady playing well under pressure. But let's think about Tom Brady throughout this season. 2 times against the New Orleans Saints under pressure. Those were losses. Against the Chicago Bears, pressured 10 times. That was also a loss where he forgot what down it was. And then in the second half, Tom Brady totally falls apart. He takes sacks. He almost gets a turnover in the end zone and 2 overthrows for interceptions. This is becoming a problem. If Tom Brady has a utopia, if Tom Brady has an oasis of time, if he has so many opportunities to throw the ball, he can utilize his skill weapons. But if you get pressure on him, he starts to see ghosts, maybe acting like Sam Darnold a little bit and throws the ball away, takes sacks. This team hasn't played well nor won any game that Tom Brady hasn't had perfect protection. And that's an issue when you think about having to play teams like the Saints going forward.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to get greedy this week. I feel like we had a bunch of really good games, and as we reach Thanksgiving, we have a sense of what we're looking at and what we're seeing. I want to get your thoughts on some teams as we head into the most important stretch of the season in just a bit, all right?
In that second half, but you were able to manufacture enough for that game-winning field goal drive. Just what was working for you on that drive?
Yeah, the last drive, we just got back to ourselves. I was making some pretty dumb mistakes, honestly, at the end there. Just not taking care of the ball and being smart with it. And we got back to ourselves in that last drive and put some points on the board.
Now, what made you think? Did you think that how confident were you that that field goal was going to be enough?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, whenever Brady's on the other side with that much time, you never know. Our defense stepped the hell up today. Our defense stepped up and did a great job, and that's a good offense we played today and a good defense. We did a great job.
You had 39 completions tonight, 1 off the Monday Night Football record. You were able to connect with Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp all night long. Just describe the impact that those 2 especially had in the game.
Yeah, it's about time we started to click a little bit in the pass game, and it was a fun night. It was a fun night. Those guys were having a good time, getting open, and we were able to find them. Now,
we keep talking about team identity. You know what you have in your defense, but what did your guys on offense show you tonight?
We're versatile, I think. We've been running the ball really well all year, and they were doing a good job stopping the run. It's one of the best run defenses in the league, and had to throw it around a little bit, and we did a great job.
Congratulations on the win.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, as he jogs to the locker room, the work of Riddick and Greasy not quite done. Fellas, we watched a couple of really good teams, I think, and the stout defense of the Rams, Lewis, I'll start with you. What does that make them in the NFC picture, in your opinion?
I think it makes them a definite NFC title contender because they can play many different styles. They have guys who are shutdown type of guys on the defensive side with Jalen Ramsey. They can play zone coverage with good eye discipline and good vision on the quarterback and intercept the ball and turn it over. Look, Aaron Donald wasn't even a factor tonight. You didn't even really hear his name, and yet they were still able to come up with big plays and turnovers, which is something that Sean McVay wanted them to do. And they went against a very high-powered offense and basically, in crunch time, rendered it useless.
You got to give credit to Brandon Staley, their defensive coordinator, too. This was probably the biggest stage of his career. The first time defensive coordinator calling plays this year, and he takes over for a legend in Wade Phillips. A controversial decision by Sean McVay to bring him in, and he has been outstanding He has gotten young guys coached up, Darius Williams of the world, Micah Kaiser playing well. Guys that nobody really heard of, Scotty, coming into this season. They're playing at a high level, and they're playing connected, and you could see that tonight.
Ryan, I'll stay with you. Tom Brady against the best defenses in the NFL. Where are we right now?
Well, I think you're looking at this team, okay? It's not all Tom Brady. You're looking at the Bucs team, and everybody wants to talk about all of the core vets out there, all the guys that throw the football to, but that's not how football works, Scotty. You know that. You have to play together. You have to be familiar with each other. You don't typically see from Tom Brady. And some recognition by him downfield, some misses, throwing 2 balls to Jordan Fuller that look like they're coming down as a punt. I mean, it's just right into his hands. We don't see that from Tom Brady. That's not an arm strength issue or anything like that. That is a recognition and having time together as an offense. We thought after the first 2.5 months and after what we saw last week against Carolina that they had figured this out. Run the ball with Rojo and then go play action over the top. They couldn't run it today, and they had struggled throwing the football because of it.
Yeah, I think one of the things they're going to have to do, though, in crunch time, you see who they went away from. Mike Evans was going pretty good early on in this football game, and then in crunch time, when they threw to him, he was there. He was able to really deal with Jalen Ramsey, and they had a nice battle going on. When Tom started throwing the football down the middle of the field and started going away from Mike Evans is when some of the mistakes were happening. Now, that's not to say that you take away any credit from the Rams because they were playing great team defense. But I think as they go down the stretch here, they have to go to their moneymakers. Mike Evans has to be the guy in crunch time that they always dial up, and they have to just make sure that they don't lose him at crucial moments in football games. I thought they lost him here tonight.
I have one thought for Tampa Bay, and not just specific to them, fellas, but really to any of these teams that find themselves in the playoff mix, but with 4 losses, you're going to be on the road. But this year, without fans in stadiums, I just wonder what that really even means, Lewis. If you guys could just each give me a thought on what road playoff games this season represent.
Yeah, when you don't have any fans in the stands at all, it really doesn't represent anything other than the inconvenience of traveling and going to not sleeping in your own bed, being around your own surroundings. Because I can just tell you this, every single team we've talked to has said this. The no having fans in the stands is just weird, and it's hard to maintain your level of attention to detail and your intensity, and that's what it's really going to come down to. The mentally tough teams aren't going to care where they play because it's all going to look the same, especially with no fans in the stands.
It's not going to matter one bit, Scott. I mean, that's the answer, right? It doesn't matter where you're going to play these playoff games. It matters a lot more who's that 5th seed for the wild card because they play the NFC East. I think that matters more than anything.
That's a great point on the way out. Gentlemen, enjoy your Thanksgiving, and we'll circle back this time next week and talk in Philly. Be safe and travel well, okay?
Okay, happy holiday, bud.
Thanks, Scott.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Post-game coverage is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network. With 5G coverage in all 50 states, T-Mobile is your ticket to the game.
Well, you knew as soon as Brady went to Tampa Bay, they were going to live in prime time, and they have, but he has not fared particularly well, has Brady or this Buccaneer team under the brightest of lights. 1-3 in those national windows. The touchdown to interception ratio is 1-1 in prime time, 5-1 in all those other games. Monday, Brady threw the game-sealing pick on that final drive. Afterwards, Bruce Arians on a tough home loss.
At times we look really, really good, and then there are times when we obviously don't. I felt very, very comfortable in the 2-minute drive until that throw. But we made some plays, and obviously we didn't make enough in this ball game, offensive, defense, or special teams, to win.
Both interceptions, I mean, were they just poor throws? Nobody was really in the area.
No, the first one he got hit. He got hit. It looked like had Chris going right down the middle, and stepped up and just didn't get enough on it.